Hey, hey. It's the 12 days of Christmas, day 5. We're gonna paint the snowman. He's a cute little snowman, all cozy in his little red scarf. So for anyone that can join me tonight, happy Thanksgiving. I'm gonna try and find me over here so I can see comments. So hold tight. Yep, there I am. Hopefully we don't have any issues tonight. If you want to send stars, I will be giving away one full set of my ornaments to one lucky star sender. And hopefully that's you. So you can send stars. Looks like my computer's gonna give me some troubles. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'll be able to see comments. I'm gonna try it another time. I might have to refresh or go to my personal page. Let's go to my personal page because I follow myself. So we're gonna be painting a snowman. All right, let's hopefully we got this. Okay. We'll try and make it bigger. See comments. All right. I see some people are popping on now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving. Day before Thanksgiving Eve. Is that what we call it? I painted 2 backgrounds already, but I did leave 2 more that I'm gonna do with you guys. Only because if you want to make this background, like it's a little on the streaky side, so it looks like snow or a glare from the snow globe that he's in, I'm gonna show you how I did that. He's super cute. Having issues. Should have brought my iPad out. Gosh darn it. I hate to go without any comments. We're gonna try kicking it down. Starting over. While you're all popping on here, we'll just try and reboot this again. Tonight's snowman one is going to be pretty easy, so we won't need a whole lot of time to complete this one. I'm logging back in. Hopefully I'll see myself. I don't see myself. Hello from Pennsylvania. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Bobby. I'm gonna see if this pulls me up. Because I see I got some more comments, but I can't read them. They go by way too quickly. Hey, Bobby, thank you for the stars. So if you send 100 stars, you will be entered to win one full set of the ornaments. Hello to my buddy. Your buddy it's hunting season. It is 9 days, 11 days, 27 days. I don't know. Feels like 100 days in the fall that it's hunting season. So I don't get to see much of your buddy right now. He gets done with work earlier than I do, and he goes right out to the woods and he hunts, and when it gets dark, he eats out there. He eats out at the hunting cabin, and then he'll be home after a bit. So I don't see much of him. It's okay, it only lasts a little while. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get some comments. I did see Bobby's. Hey, Lois, welcome. Vicky, hello. Danielle, hello from Pennsylvania. And good morning, says Rosemary, or good evening, she says. All right. We're gonna get scooting here. Alabama. Hey, Susan from Alabama. Welcome, welcome. So I'm gonna flip you down, and so you can see my project a little bit better than being up here. So first of all, we'll tell you a little bit about it. So this is the snowman, and he does not have a hat. He's pretty easy to do. He has a cute little scarf, and he's got some little arms, his nose, and he looks like he's in a snow globe. So the background is a little on the streaky side, so like it's snowing or like a reflection in there. Hey Deb, thank you for the stars. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. 99 will get you in the drawing as well. So, and Danielle, Donna now, thank you so much. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. So thank you so much for the stars. Perfect, perfect. I love it. I write everybody's name down after the live. I'll write everybody's name down and whatever day that they sent the stars. And then when we're all done, I go, like the next day, I'll go back through and make sure I didn't miss any. And then I put a like or a love on the ones where you sent stars, so I remember that I got you. So in order to do that background, we're gonna do 2 of them together. I got 2 finished, and you can see it's a little on the streaky side. So we're gonna do those together just so I can show you that. We're gonna also, if you haven't joined me before, we're going to put that snowman right on here and make you a pattern so you can actually see it bigger and with magic marker. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. And it's the only live for this week. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so I will not be live tomorrow, and then I'll be back next week on Wednesday and Thursday for day 6 and day 7. Okay. I'm gonna scoot you down. I'm gonna flip you over though. And then I'm gonna try and scoot you down without breaking my stand. So if you get seasick, I'm sorry. Okay, that was better than the first night. Maybe by the time we get to the last night, I'm gonna be an expert at this moving my camera stuff. Okay, here's the snowman, and we're going to draw him on this board. So the snowman does not have a hat. He does not have a mouth. So the first thing that I do is I make the one big ball for his body. It's a little bit easier with paint. And then I make another ball for his head. It's going to be a little bit smaller. And when I use paint, those two connect. But it's just gonna look a little bit nicer with the black marker if I don't connect them. Then we're going to make a scarf. And it's rounded on this side because it's wrapping around his neck. That's what makes it look like it's wrapping around his neck, is that roundness right there versus it being square. And then there's a knot right here of where he ties his scarf. And again, it's circular over here, making it look like it's in a ball, knotted up. And then we're gonna come down for his tail of his scarf, and then come down again for the next tail. The scarves will be very different. They will not be matchy-matchy. They'll be very different. And then you can make little fringes on them if you want. There'll be no Connie lines on this Mr. Snowman. None tonight. Can you imagine that? None. The scarf is going to have some stripes. It's going to be a plaid scarf. And then this arm on this side, obviously the scarf is covering some of his arm, so it's going to start right here, and then it's going to go up and here, and it'll make a bigger base. Sticks are obviously smaller at the top than they are at the base. Hello, Lisa. And then this one is going to bend. So he's got a little bit of a elbow. So it's bigger at the base, and then his elbow is going to go down like this, and obviously bigger here. And then his couple of fingers. He has a couple buttons. And then his nose. Some people get all nervous about this nose. So it's a C right in the middle of his face. You make the letter C, and then you make it to the tip and back down to connect the C. And then put some beady little eyes on this little guy. And he would be sitting in the snow pile right there. Then to make it look like it's in a snow globe, we take some white paint and just draw lines on the outside, making it look like it's circular, and we're putting those lines, they're not straight, they're circular, just like the ornament, so makes it look like it's circular. And then of course we add snow, excuse me, onto his arms, a little bit on his elbow. And of course, since this is in the down position, snow would not gather on anything that's in the down position. It's got to be in the, like, snow would fall from this way. So where would it collect? And sometimes it'll collect on his little nose. And sometimes it'll collect on his buttons. And you can even have it collect on his head if you want. All right, that's all that comes with the snowman. He's pretty easy. So I'll let you screenshot this while I take a drink of my water. All right, now we're gonna get started on the ornament. So I painted 2 already. And I'm gonna paint these other 2 with you so that you can see how I make them. Let's stick that over there. I think that'll work. So I want you to see how I paint the backgrounds, making them have a little bit of texture to them. I have skeleton key. And my white I'm using right now is vintage linen. You can use any of the DIY whites. This one's pretty full, so I can't show you the label there. So what I do when I paint my backgrounds is I don't ever want it to be a solid color. So I go ahead with the skeleton key and I paint half. So I put enough paint on my brush to paint half. And then I go and I dip into my white and I paint the other half while it's still wet, blending that into each other. Your snowman is going to be white, so you don't want this solid white. You want to make sure that you have a little bit of color with it. Now I'm going in with some white over top of that darker skeleton key, and I'm going on a circle, in a circle motion, because I want that look of reflection in the snow globe. I want it to appear like it's round. Okay, we'll do one more. You can even paint these blue. So we're gonna do Bohemian blue. I haven't ever done one blue, but we'll do one in Bohemian blue. So I didn't wash my brush out. I just went in right straight with boho blue. And then I'm gonna go in with white and blend that boho blue into each other. And I hold my ornament hanger straight up, because if you're darker on one side and lighter on the other side, you'll have the appearance of not being flat. It'll look more round. Like this ornament already looks round because of the way I painted it. And now we're gonna add just a touch of the vintage linen. Giving an appearance of reflection. All right. That's it for the background. Backgrounds are fun. You can paint them in any color you want. All right, I still need my skeleton key because that's gonna be the color of our snowman. If you look at my snowman, oh, it's not. I lied. It's Hey Sailor. Where's my Hey Sailor? It's here. It's Hey Sailor. So the snowman, you don't want it to be solid white. You want to give him a little bit of depth. So we're gonna take some Hay Sailor, put it on my plate here. And then I'm gonna take vintage linen and put it right next to it. I need quite a bit of vintage linen. I'm gonna pack up my skeleton key now that I don't need it. And my brush has a little bit of Hay Sailor on it, so I'm just gonna dip right into that white, dragging it into that Hay Sailor until I get the color that I want. And I need enough of it because I gotta do 4 snowmen. Okay? We're gonna do these 2 first. Since they're dry, these are the ones I did before. If you don't have Hay Sailor, must be, what other color would work? Any type of blue, Bobby, any blue. Just something a little bit different than the skeleton key. Skeleton key is kind of a grayish blue green. It's kind of all 3 of those combined. So you just need somewhat of a blue. And then we're gonna put the ornament hole up at the top, and we're gonna make that first ball for the snowman. Then we're gonna make the second one. And he can fill up almost the entire ornament with his body and his head because he's not getting a hat. I'm gonna wipe my brush off. I'm not gonna clean it. I'm just gonna wipe my brush off. Getting rid of some of that blue. And then I'm gonna dip into the white and go over top of this blue color while it's still kind of on the wet side. And blending it in just a touch. And the same with the head. So it's not white, it's still blue. All right, going back in with the blue and making another ball. They can look any way that you want. You can't make a wrong snowball. It's impossible. Snowmen are all created differently. Blend those 2 balls together. I'm gonna wipe my brush, dip into my white, and I always go on the same side. I don't know why, but I do. I go on the same side. And I don't get completely to the edge. If you haven't noticed, I'm not completely to that edge over there. So this edge right here, still some of that blue showing through. And look at this one. This one that I just did. It has a lot of that blue showing on this side. It's okay. We're not done with them yet. This is just their first coat. Hey, Laura. thank you for the stars. Woo woo! You're entered into the drawing. I'm sure this is going to be a favorite of many people. The snowman always is a favorite. So your bottom ball on the snowman is going to be larger than the top one. He's kind of cute, so they're not too much different. They're pretty much the same size. Because I'm a fast painter, I'm gonna paint this one too. If you're not a fast painter, you go back in with your white. All right, wipe my brush, getting some of that blue off, and then going in with the white and blending it so it still turns blue, but not as blue as what we already put down. And I do not go completely to this edge, not at all. I don't go completely to that edge, but I'm further away from the edge on the other side. Can barely tell which one's Bohemian Blue anymore. Then, since we have this blue out, we're gonna make the snow that he's sitting in. So that you have some depth down here as well. You need depth in all of your snow. Is anybody painting 4 ornaments at a time like I do? I don't know why, but 4 just is my magic number for how many I paint at the same time. All right, I'm gonna rinse my brush now because I want that blue out of there as much as possible. Now I have straight vintage linen. I'm gonna scoot these back again. Must be why I like 2 of them, because I just scoot them back and forth. So I'm gonna go in with plain white. This is mostly dry now. It's not wet. And I'm gonna put some white on there, brightening him up. I leave right here, I leave some of that blue to be a shadow. And I leave that edge again on both sides. This kind of pulls him right off that background now. So, in case you're wondering, why did you put the second layer down? It's all about the layers. You can kind of see some of my second layer, you can see some of my first layer, and now you can see this white layer. And you can go over it a couple times, making him a little bit whiter if some of that blue is shining through. It's all about the layers. That's what makes him look three-dimensional versus flat. The DIY paint dries really, really quickly. So if you're using acrylic paints that don't dry quite as fast, you might have to give it a little bit of dry time in between this step, because otherwise your colors are just going to blend. And sometimes they get a little muddy. Then we're gonna add some snow down here. You wanna leave some of that blue so you have a little bit of depth. Okay, washing my brush. He looks good already. He doesn't need anything else, does he? We can all tell he's a snowman. However, we're gonna give him a red scarf. I was using a Filbert 10 to make the snowman. Now I'm gonna switch to my 8, or I'm sorry, my 6. I'm gonna switch to the 6. And I'm gonna go in with the Filbert brush. The Filbert brush is rounded. You can get some of your paint off on your paint palette. Let me move this a touch. You can get some of the paint off of your Filbert brush, but your Filbert brush is rounded on one side. So you're gonna put your brush down right at the base of his neck and pull it across. Then turn your ornament around, and we're gonna do the same thing over here. Okay, now both sides of that scarf are rounded, which makes it look like it's wrapping around his neck. Then we're gonna take a little bit of white and pull it through. Giving it a little bit of a frosted kind of look. Then we're gonna make this knot. So it's just a circle, and then we're gonna go down. I turned my brush to the side, and I go make a tail down there, getting wider at the bottom. Scarves are usually square at the bottom. So I turn my brush to the side again, getting larger. I'm gonna flip it around. And squaring off that end. Now we need a little bit of depth in there, so I'm going to grab a little bit of white and make just a small little highlight on that circle part. And then one of these is on top of the other. So one's underneath, one's on top. So you figure out which one you want on top, and then you make a white streak down it, which pushes that other one behind it. Okay? Then you can add just a little bit over on this one. You can add a little bit of highlight over there just to give him a little bit of depth. We'll do another red one. I was gonna do a pink. Does anybody want to see a pink one? Hi, Carol. All right, going in with my filbert again, making it round on this side, dragging across, and I stop. Then I flip it over, load up more paint, go on this side of his neck, and pull it into that one, causing it to be round on both sides. Then I drag a little bit of white right straight through it, staying away from that side that's going to have the knot. I don't want that knot to have a streak of white through it yet. And then I'm gonna make the knot, and all it is just a little bit bigger than the scarf, than the base of the scarf. Putting my brush at the side, I go down and push my brush, making it wider. So I come down again, starting on the side of my brush, and I barely am touching it, and then I start to push, making that scarf wider at the base. I like it when the scarves overlap each other. Okay, going in with some white, we're gonna make a little highlight on the knot, and then we're gonna decide which one's on top and make a nice highlight there and a highlight on that one. All right, let's do pink. I have petticoat pink, but you can just add white if you want. So I'm not washing my brush out. So it's gonna be a little bit pinkier than petticoat pink. Too much paint on my brush from all that mixing. She's a cute little snowman in her pink. Oops. I need a little bit of white. That one was perfect. So was that one. I like that. This one's going to be a little bit darker pink because I'm using up what's on my palette with the marquee red and the petticoat, mixing them together. Those pink ones are cute. That's the technique I need. Practice on is making the brush work for you. Corinne? Hey Corinne, happy Thanksgiving. Yep, you have to, the brush can do so many different things, and it's all in the way that you hold it or the way that you push it onto your paper. When you push your brush onto the paper, if you apply a lot of pressure, you're going to get a thicker stroke. If you don't apply a lot of pressure, you're going to get a thinner stroke. It all works out. Okay, we're going to let those scarves dry while we paint his nose. We are going in with Summer Crush. Let's do the red ones first. They're a little bit drier. So I'm putting a C on his face, right in the center of his face, okay? Then I take, and this is a 0 brush. It's a Princeton 0. And then I go up, make it kind of point to the sky, and then back down and finish that C and join those colors together. I add a little bit of white for some dimension, and there's his little nose. His nose can be as big as you want, as small as you want. So a C, the letter C. This one's not going to point so far up in the sky. And I don't make my edges real straight. I make them kind of bumpy like a carrot would be. And then that end of his nose has got a nice point on it. Little bit of white. Now this is a girl snowman, snow woman. So she's not gonna have as big a nose. So she's gonna have a more dainty nose. Her nose doesn't even go off the side of her head. Like those went off the side of their head. Hers is not. And a second snow woman. Actually, when I typed my description tonight, that's what it came up with, is snow woman and not snowman. It must have known I was gonna paint pink scarves. I don't know how it knew that because I barely thought it. And a little bit of white. I'm going to use that same 0 brush. This is a round brush. And we're going to use Little Black Dress. Making some cool buttons down here. And some tiny little eyes. This snowman has some smaller little eyes. We'll make this one over here. She's gonna have even smaller eyes. I wipe my brush off. I don't clean it, I just wipe it off. And I'm pulling in a little white and making a highlight on those buttons. And in those eyes. I have to wipe my brush off again so I don't have white in my black when I start out. You don't want these completely round. Hey Lisa, thank you. I know you like your snowman, so I knew you thought they would be cute. So in order for his nose to look kind of like it's in the right spot, you have to put one of those eyeballs over top of the nose. And the other one is like right on the left-hand side of it. So if you make this left one first and put it right like on the left-hand side of that nose, then the next one goes over top of that nose. So it makes his nose look like it's in the middle of his face. If that makes any sense. And then adding that highlight and a highlight for his teeny tiny eyes. Wash that brush. Now we need his stick arms. Same brush, weathered wood. So this arm starts underneath somewhere, underneath his scarf, so then it's going to continue up right like that. This one is going to have his arm bent, so remember it's larger at the base where it's connected to him, and then Goes down to his fingers. Grabbing a little bit of white. And that's going to go on the top of the stick. Thanks, Carol. Okay. Let's put his arms in a different position. This one's still going to stick up only because it's behind his scarf. So it's just easier to make it stick up. And then this one's going to kind of be sticking up, but kind of off to the side a little bit. And then I'm pushing down the further I get to that base so that it widens my brush out. Adding that white. All that white is doing right now, I'll have to do replay. All right, Barbara, you certainly can. All that white is doing is adding the dimension to that stick. It's not the snow yet. It's just adding dimension to it. All right, we'll do this one with both arms on our hips. Just do the snowman with an attitude. Pushing down again, getting bigger for the base. She's got an awful skinny arm over here. Gonna fatten that up. I do like them with their arms on their hips, so we'll do this one too. Starting out skinny, pushing my brush, going bigger at the base. I need a bit more weathered wood. And then I like the stick to come up there. Like it doesn't, it's not a perfect stick. My weathered wood is thick. I had to add a little bit of water. So what I did is I just dipped my brush into my water. Happy Thanksgiving, I've got to go. All right, Bobby. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Turkey Day. All right, we're almost finished with these little guys. They're almost done. Whoop. It's got a little bit more of a stick coming up there, so we're gonna make it look like her arm is I don't know. That one might be a little goofy. It's okay. It's just a snowman. They can look however. And I gotta give it a little dimension. All right. We're gonna go in with white linen. This is the whitest white that you can get, but it separates, so you have to stir it. But I like using this cottage color because it is so white. All right, we're gonna make the snow. See how much whiter that is? Now we're just pouncing the brush where the snow would fall. So it'd probably fall up on top of this stick and in the crotch of this one. I'm gonna have it pile up on her scarf. And then pile up on this arm over here. And because this white linen cottage color is so much whiter than the vintage linen that we were using, you can see it over top of the white linen or the vintage linen. And let's put some on top of her head. Okay, gotta do another one. We'll do this one a little bit faster now that you've seen what I was doing. I'm normally not too much of a slow painter. The faster I go, the better I paint. Oh, we forgot her stripes in her scarf. We'll do that. Sometimes they have icicles hanging off of their nose. And on her head. Again, you don't want it where the snow wouldn't collect. So if it couldn't collect there because it's hanging down, try not to put it there. One more. And we have to splatter, and we have to do the stripes and the look of the snow globe. Thank you, Danelle. Those ladies need a purse. Black Friday is fast approaching. Yup. I'm not going Black Friday shopping. I haven't for years. Okay. Snow globe effect. Lines around the perimeter. In a circular fashion. Making it look like a snow globe. No Connie lines tonight on these. They are too cute without them. Thank you, Patricia. You're late. Hey, Rob. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the stars, Patricia. You'll be entered into the 12-day giveaway. One person will receive all 12 ornaments whenever they send 100 stars. That helps me stay motivated and keep going here for all 12 days. I'm gonna add a little bit of the snow to the bottom, only because it is such a different white that I wanna make it on the bottom as well. Like it piled up down here. All right, this brush, when you're using those cottage colors, DIY frosting. No, Rob, that was white linen cottage color. It's a little on the thicker side. Where's Wilson tonight? He doesn't come on my lives when I'm doing the 12 days of Christmas. They need pearls. Oh, funny. Okay, some stripes. We're gonna use black. for the red ones. We might not use, whoa, I almost went right on there instead of on my palette. We might not use black for the pink ones, but we're gonna use black on the red ones. All right, now we're gonna add some white stripes. It's got his buffalo plaid going on here. You can do whatever kind of stripes you want. Then we're gonna do white on this pink. Oh, Robert, he's not being a Grinch. He'd like to be on my lives, but it's me, I won't let him. I told him I have to be somewhat professional with these lives for the 12 days of Christmas, if I know how to do that. I don't really know how to be too serious, so we're trying. We're giving it a try. All right, now we're gonna do some splatter. We are going to try and splatter with this cottage color. I've never done that before. Let's see how it works. All right, I gotta move those. Move that. It's not coming off of that spatula. Let's try a brush. There we go. Wouldn't be a snow globe if we didn't have splatter. All right, that's it. I gotta get the splatter off me because it is cottage color. Thanks, Rob. All right, I'm gonna move you, so hang on tight. Have you been painting with the new DIY paints yet? I don't have them. Not yet. They're coming. I hear they're at Debbie's store. They're coming. Yikes, I'm late. I'll have to catch this on replay. You will, Sheila. We painted these little guys tonight. A snowman with a red cozy scarf, and then the other one with a nice pink cozy scarf. This is day 5. Thank you all very much for joining me. This is the only one I'll do this week due to Thanksgiving tomorrow. And I will be back next week for day 6 and day 7. Day 6 and day 7 are poinsettia. Those are adorable. Can't wait to try them. Excellent, Sheila. And a simple little angel. So those are day 6 and day 7. So join me next week on Wednesday and Thursday, and we'll paint those. The poinsettia is a fun, different technique that I haven't done yet. So I've done it. I haven't showed you that yet. So you make sure that you join me. And if you add 100 stars to this live, you will be entered to win one of the 12 ornaments. Not one of the 12. One full set of 12 ornaments I will be sending out after this live, after all 12 lives are completed. So someone will be getting all 12 days if they send 100 stars. What that does is it helps keep me motivated to keep going for the 12 days, and also it's not much, but it's a little bit of actually helping you to learn how to paint some of these things yourself. So thank you all for joining me. Have a very, very happy Thanksgiving, and I hope that you spend a lot of time with your family and friends tomorrow, and most of all, enjoy your company. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time, and until then, happy painting.